Capricorns, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is going to be your lunar eclipse, full moon in Cancer reading using the Oracle cards by Colette Barn Reed. This is the Enchanted Map Oracle deck. 6-card spread, going to be clarified by the tarot. And this full moon will be affecting you in your 7th house of relationships, partnerships of all kinds, marriages, contracts, business partners, your sense of equality, and sharing what you share. So, see what messages we have for you. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Capricorn, Sun, you will be feeling this on a soul level. Capricorn, Ascendant, you'll be feeling this or seeing it more in your physical world. And Capricorn, Moon, you will be experiencing this on an emotional level. So these are general readings. Keep that in mind. Keep in mind as well, the messages are predictive, and I was led to come on this platform and give you this reading because lunar eclipses will affect more longer term than full moons without an eclipse. So it could be a pretty pivotal time for the zodiac. So I definitely felt led to come on and give you these messages. So welcome back to subscribers, and welcome to anyone new to my channel. I welcome you to subscribe. Hopefully you find these messages helpful. So anything else I want to say before I get started? Yeah, so let's get into this. Recent past, we have wide open with the Tower, wide open. So I feel with this, there has been this freedom or release from, for some of you, a situation that wasn't built on solid ground. For some of you, this could be the end of a marriage, the end of a relationship, whatever you felt was your equal in some way, where has been this sense of freedom, free from a restriction, freedom from, now I also feel with, it could be a business as well. Some of you were under a contract or under a situation that was really keeping you locked down as far as your abilities and mobility with your career. For instance, you work for one company and you can't do anything else with any, like a competitor or something like that. But definitely there was a Tower moment, something, some of you, but I feel the positive thing about it was that it's now brought you to this space where the possibilities now, you have more choices, more options. You're free. You've been freed. So for some of you, could have been even a toxic relationship or marriage that was that needed to fall apart for benefit of all, but mainly you here, where now you're in the situation where you go, I feel it's up from here. So that's where I really get this, is like, could have came as a shock, could have come as a surprise, definitely with the Tower. Apologies for that. I'm going to continue with your reading. So that's what you've experienced in your recent past, for some of you, where there is a message in here for you. Okay. Let's turn the ringer off. All right. What we have for your present point of advantage, details with the Two of Pentacles. So now you are considering your options, definitely considering your choices with, I would say, would be some new opportunities. After the Ace of Pentacles, we have 2. So some of you have some options, and behind you, you have some rough waters. So definitely you've come to shore to decide where your next move is. There's some clarity as well. About and there's maybe some things that some of you have to consider, especially if this is a marriage that has dissolved, who gets what in the situation, the end of a contract, maybe there's some severance, you're looking over things, over paperwork. There's a lot of paperwork that some of you are considering looking into getting clarity on, as far as what is what. So there's this sense of, I feel, could be financial, property, different assets, as far as who gets what. And there definitely could be a legal tone to this, especially if you have children. Some of you could be working out the details of visitation rights, how that's going to work out. Especially for some of you, if you had like a prenuptial agreement, or again, there's still this debris that's left over, I feel, from this Tower moment that needs to be dealt with, and you're in that present state of dealing with it, ironing out the details of that kind of back and forth. Now, not all of you are married, but maybe this is speaking to your business. But if you feel that this is, for some of you, that this Tower moment could have actually come as a surprise of something where possibly a relationship, a surprise kind of attraction that came in, but this would be a relationship that makes you feel free rather than restricted. So it could be going in a number of ways for different Capricorns. So you could have experienced a sudden attraction, could experience a sudden kind of partnership or relationship, but what would be kind of the tone of this relationship is that you're elevating higher with this person, and the possibilities are endless as far as that goes. And so if that's your case, then here you are compromising with someone about your future, where you're going to be going with this merging of or agreement within a partnership. Some of you could be in that sudden place. This also could have been a surprise as far as an engagement to get married for some of you. Again, we're all on different timelines, so how this would translate again for where you are is kind of maybe mapping out the details of what your partnership is going to be like, what your marriage is going to be like. Also could have been a sudden business opportunity that gives you some higher ground in whatever it is that you are working towards. Okay, so if that's the case, then you're still here negotiating. What is our agreement going to look like? All right, so going back and forth definitely is indicated here. So however you are, whether you are entering a relationship, partnership, or leaving a relationship, partnership, this is where you are, whether you're looking at the details of going into it or looking at the details going out of it. So your resistance or challenge maybe in this is the Moonlight with the Emperor. So for some of you, I feel okay. So I'm picking up for some of you. If you are separating from marriage, this challenge would definitely be someone having a bit of the upper hand in a situation. And with the Moonlight is about being really in touch with your emotions, but also following your intuition. This would be someone who's thinking of their own best interests, not necessarily about the partnership anymore. They're going for what they believe they deserve, and they may have some power and influence over the situation. So some of you could be dealing with that, and that would definitely be a challenge. For others, this could be the sense of your stability being threatened, feeling threatened by your stability being kind of taken away from you, or and it being difficult not to tie your emotions into it. But also following your intuitions in the midst of this could be somewhat, you may be in your head more, or really just kind of looking at the details of what am I going to be left with in a situation. For others of you who may be entering into a partnership or entering into a new marriage or relationship, I feel that for some of you there is definitely someone who wants control maybe in the situation, and ignoring your intuition as far as being in the place where you are speaking up for yourself may be a little bit of a challenge for you. This person may have more power in the sense of they make more money, or you know, they have the house, or they have what is going to be your sense of stability. For some of you, you may feel less like you are contributing to the partnership in a way that gives you a sense of power. For some of you, that it is about maintaining your stability, even in this negotiation stage, making sure that you're okay as you are partnering up in the situation here, and going with your gut within any meetings, speaking about what your concerns would be. Entering into any partnership may be somewhat of an intimidation for you, so that's maybe just something that some of you need to work on, or just need to be aware of. Some of you, I feel, may have trouble submitting to, if in the traditional sense of the feminine submitting to the masculine in that sense. There could be varying degrees as far as why that would be a challenge or resistance, but for some of you, that may be some of what that is, submitting to someone in a relationship in that kind of traditional sense. Maybe power struggles within a relationship. Okay, so what we have for your unexpected help, it is follow the leader with the Fool. So there's the sense here. Now someone in a partnership is going to take the lead, and for some of you, I feel this is like a risk, but it's a new beginning, it's a new chapter that you would be ready for, and feel that you are protected anyway. And maybe working on looking at submission as a negative thing. This could be somewhat of a sense where you establish not only where they would be taking the lead, but where you would be taking the lead. What would be your role in the relationship? Because in a partnership, everyone has a role. I also kind of picked up for some of you, if this is in relation to kind of dividing assets, and if there are children involved, some of you may have to submit to the order of what a judge would have to say about a situation. And I'm kind of picking up I'm kind of picking up that maybe for some of you may feel that your counselor or whoever's kind of handling does not have kind of any sympathy, or is not hearing your voice on how you would feel about arrangements. But coming back to this, I feel that it would be a new beginning. There's a sense of protection with this as well. And it's an opportunity to go along with where things have ended or things are beginning. And for some of you, I feel that this is a sense of freedom as you are leaving a partnership, freedom, and you being your own leader, again, having that power over. So that's something where I feel for many of you, where this wide open came from in a separation, that this is a new beginning for you, and for you to have more power over your path and where you're going, without having someone kind of hovering over you, where your choices do not affect someone else's, or you didn't, you know, have to check with them in your decisions. Some of you may be deciding to travel, do things that you have not done before, or that you were not, never say, allowed to do in a partnership. I feel that this is just a brand new beginning for you, again, where that wide open space is, you know, come up, that now here you are being the creator of your own destiny, or, you know, you feel like you're not co-writing it with someone else who's, you know, putting restrictions on you. This is the sense of like you're starting all over again, and now you are in that leadership role again. So it's a time for you to take risks, do things that you've always wanted to do and maybe felt restricted to do. And this is also a message for those of you who were freed from bounding contract situation, that there are new opportunities now where you can do and take on opportunities that you want to without it being something that would go against your legal agreement, or whatever your position was. So new beginning, I feel the Fool is a good omen for this, and the leadership roles for some of you who are in a partnership or a relationship, those being established as far as, okay, we're gonna, if you're gonna do this, who's, especially too with this Two of Pentacles as well, mapping out the details. Well, what's my role gonna be in this partnership? What's this role gonna be in my marriage? And you accepting that and going forth with it. So what we have for your your advice through the oracle cards, it is protecting treasure and Five of Pentacles. So this is a time for some of you, especially if it's involving the separation, to definitely maybe save more. I'm getting that. Definitely save more. Some of you as well, with protecting what you have, getting help. Some of you, some of you may be relying on the help of legal counsel. If you don't already, this may be advice where there's something that you can't do on your own. Also, this is a card of not being afraid to ask for help when you need it, not avoiding it. Allow a putting your pride aside as well. Put your pride aside if you are in a situation where there has been this cut of finances, your sense of stability again. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Protect what is yours as well. Because some of you could be dealing with a tyrannical type of energy there that kind of wants to leave you with nothing. But there's the sense of here of reaching out for where you do need help, not avoiding where your help can come from. Changing your financial habits, possibly downsizing a bit here for the sake of protecting what is important to you. For others of you who are maybe going into a partnership, a new partnership, I do feel a sense that some of you may be in a situation where it would be beneficial for you to protect what you've earned on your own before going into a partnership. Now, that could be touchy in the sense of wanting a prenup, as you're wanting to be optimistic about a partnership or making sure you're protecting, but you can do this in a way that it could possibly be like the advice to keep an account separate, or keep an account separate from your partner, in a way that somehow protects it from them in a way. Just for your own protection, basically, because you just never know. I mean, life is changeable. The only thing constant is change, and we can agree to make commitments and try to be disciplined, but even in a partnership, you can control yourself, but you can't control another human being, even though many try. It's not, you want to be prepared for any storms that may come along. So this may be advice for some of you, to kind of leave someone out in the cold about what it is that you have, as far as your net worth, as far as them knowing everything that you have. There may be a sense that, especially in this phase of coming together, it may be brand new for you. It's just that's where I'm kind of getting, that you can still enjoy the coming together, but for some of you, this is the advice, take it or leave it, but that's what's here. protecting your assets. Some of you may be fighting for custody of children. Some of you may feel that the other partner shouldn't see them. And this is where you would have to plead your case on that here. But again, help, needing help, don't be afraid to ask for help. Okay, so here we have for the outcome, we do have Spirit of Place and the Eight of Swords. I really do love this card. Now, the Eight of Swords could be some frustrations, but I also kind of get it as making your choice and sticking with it no matter what. And it almost kind of, it's almost a similar energy I'm picking up from this. Also, I'm going to look at the bottom of the deck too to tidy all of these messages together. That's one of the things I was saying in the beginning of all the signs. But your outcome here is being in a place where you are comfortable with yourself and comfortable in your skin wherever you are. And there's a sense of, with this card, I feel that your perception is clear about who you are regardless of where you are. It's a very stable card about your sense of self, no matter what happens, no matter whether you are partnered or single. Now, some of you could, as far as the separation, those of you who may be dealing with that, there's this sense where some of you may spend some time being single and not really paying attention to any new opportunities to come together as you are stabilizing and feeling whole again in yourself from being in the relationship. There may be a strong focus, but also kind of a bit of being non-communicative or not open to anything else. And that would be something that you set up in your mind to do. Okay, whatever this is, this is my mind frame. Maybe some of you are going to say, I'll never get married again. I'll never, whatever. Some of you here, there's something here that I feel that you would need to voice, that you're going, that it will be, if you don't voice it, something here I feel, it's almost with the Eight of Swords, it's like sticking to a state of mind about a situation, not being open to what anyone else has to say about a situation. It could also mean like disciplining yourself in a sense too. Disciplining yourself to be faithful, not look at anyone else, staying comfortable in the place that you are in. And for some of you, it's a strong focus, strong mental focus that will be hard to veer you away from, But with the energy of this, I get its stability. And whatever you decide here, some of you too, there will be more communication with the individual. For some of you, that's going to be that where you will no longer be communicating with this person, or there will be someone in the middle that you would be communicating with as far as the separation. For those of you who may be coming together, there's a sense of falling into a comfort zone and allowing someone to, again, lead where you agree that they can lead. And you staying kind of put or not having a say in something, or allowing someone else, like your hands are tied somewhere. Okay, it's like situations come up, you can't do anything on your own again, or not you can't do anything on your own, but it's more so like, okay, now I have to consult with my husband, I have to consult with my wife, or these are things that would have you in a situation where would seem as if you're not speaking for yourself anymore, but that would be what a partnership you would have to just, again, that's something where you will be compromising on the decisions that you make. You will no longer be making them on your own. You will have that sense of, I have to, any major financial decisions, any major work decisions, well, I have to consult with, you know, my other half here. So it's a kind of, in a sense, it may be an adjustment. It may be an adjustment, but I feel that there's a sense of comfort that you would find or will find in kind of getting used to that. Okay. Some of you, there's a choice or decision that will be made as far as where things are going that you will not have a say in, but you knowing yourself and you having yourself, even if that's all you're left with, or what you feel like you're left with, there's a sense that I feel if you're in this state, you will be able to break out of any restrictions or frustrations that you feel have you gagged and bound and not able to make moves. So let's look underneath. And for some of you, I feel like there will be some type of new business agreement that comes along. Express your needs. Again, protect your work or protect yourself as far as what it is that you need financially. And what you agree with, you'll have to stick with. There may be some stipulations still in a contract or an agreement, but I do feel it'll be a better kind of situation for you. Okay, so what we do have is home underneath the deck. You're kind of fitting in that sense. Let's see what we have underneath the tarot. And we do have Six of Cups. So any of you worried about kind of custody with children, I'm getting kind of a sign here that you will be able to still cultivate and keep your parenting relationship with your children. For some of you, this may be signs that someone from the past could be coming along, or this is some type of reconciliation that has been almost divinely orchestrated for you, for some of you, okay? I get this sense of some of you returning to a home from your childhood, possibly for a temporary amount of time. Again, this might be healthy for you, for those of you who are going through a separation, to go into that place that reminds you of who you were before this relationship, because divorce and separation is not easy. So for some of you, that could be returning to your childhood home or where your parents are. Again, something that a state that's there, and whatever's happening is here to remind you of who you are as far as what's leading your life, or if there's something that is if it is a marriage that's ending. And for those of you who are going into a new relationship, partnership, or you already are in a relationship, partnership that's going well, there could be this sense of restoring emotions and harmony within your partnership. As well, you finding this good kind of balance where you are comfortable with, again, who's going to be taking this role and who's going to be taking that role. There's a sense of that, you making this home. I'm also picking up some of you who may have a choice on living, where you will live, where you will start your marriage or have your marriage. And for some of you, this is maybe a choice that's going back and forth, you're ironing out. For some of you, this is a sense of you staying around your support system, not going or leaving what you know as far as your surroundings or your support system. Stay around your support system. I'm also getting that from the advice card. Stay close to your support system for some of you. Okay. And if you're not staying close, if there is like a move, a new kind of direction that you're going to be going in based on your partner, don't shut the past out. Keep contact with your family, your friends, those people who know you, and love you for you. Okay? Alright, that is all I have for you, Capricorns. I do hope this was a helpful reading for you. And, oh yeah, I did mention for some of you who are subscribed and may have seen that video where I was contemplating coming on camera, I have decided that I do just love focusing on the spread and showing you the cards more than I do talking to the camera. And I don't want anything that doesn't feel comfortable for me to obstruct how I'm reading the messages or how they're coming through for me. So no, I will not be coming on camera. I will still be showing you your cards, but as well, if you want to follow me on Twitter, if you're on Twitter, I am also using that as a platform to kind of come on and do short but insightful messages for the zodiac, still sun, moon, rising, and Venus applicable. So if you want to follow me there, I'll leave the handle below, and that's also timing as far as that goes. It's spirit-led. It's not a schedule. It's not something I'm doing every week or every month or so. It's just kind of when I feel led to. Same with this channel. I'm not going to be on every beginning of every month and showing you your month. Time fluid is these readings, and as far as the lunar eclipse, you know, the effects can be lasting. Some of you may not have experienced this yet, so or maybe you know it's something that's coming. But again, it's just how I consult, and sometimes the readings, they can go out for a longer period of time. So I'm really leaving it up to spirit and kind of obeying that in the sense of when to come on for you, but I will continue to come on and do these videos for you. So if you would like to subscribe to see more, and if it resonates for you, give me a like, and if you like a personal reading, that information is below. Take care.